there we go, alive. We're alive. We're around. I think this should be fine. Yeah, we've been alive for about 48 minutes now. Oh no, Scuff, you lied to me, jail! Jail! Oh no, Kami's part of the liar squad, the liar force, the people who put away liars. I'm the first, let's go! Someone thought you actually had a job. Also, we should be live now on YouTube, Sumigi. That's crazy. I don't think it's crazy if you look at the Twitch title. I think I thought it would be a funny little joke. I thought that I don't mean to actually trick people. So somebody's gonna come in here. Somebody's gonna raid in here, and it's like everyone's going to go, congratulations on your job. You're employed, and I'm gonna have to look them in the eye and say, actually that was a joke. I don't have work. I'm still an unemployed plebeian. Okay, that's not true. I am a D&D host. I do host D&D games, so I'm not completely unemployed, but that's considered a part-time. It's not a full job. That much is certain. I am so sorry. I did not mean to trick any of you. I just wanted to make a funny haha joke, and hope that it would be the YouTube is working now. Yeah, I forgot to click go live. You host, you art, you stream, you are productive people, and thank you, Flame. Thank you. I try to be more productive. YouTube is working now. That's good. That's good. Trying to make lots of plushies. I should head out and do plushies in the wild. That's what I did last time. I took a plushie and I brought all the materials out into the wild, and I just spent the whole day sewing and stitching away outside. It was really relaxing. Should do that once more, and who knows, maybe I'll bring you guys with me. We'll do an outside stream or something. Well, yes, I don't have a job. I don't have a full-time job. I've quit my full-time job. For those of you who don't know, I did have a full-time job, but I wasn't really happy there, and it wasn't worth staying. Everyone was really nice, but the environment wasn't for me. I wasn't doing a good enough job as I think I could have, so I left that. And I'm trying to make streaming and D&D work and all of that. If you guys don't know, there is a goal. There's a goal on it's my ultimate goal on this stream is on this life. In this life, I don't know. A life goal that I have is to make minimum wage of VTubing. I don't need much. I just need to survive, and then that is my happiness. That sort of thing. And so thank you everybody who has supported me for to reach that goal. Yeah. And for those of you who are new, hello, welcome. I'm Tene. I'm your D&D loving plushie making alien who crash landed in the post-apocalypse. I host games, I play D&D in chat, and I also turn VTubers into plushies. Yes, real life plushies that can be sent to them for them to cuddle. And I'm just trying to make stuff work. I'm just trying to make stuff work on stream. And I have to say that the game we're gonna play today is called Inhuman Resources. I got it for free. I got the keys for free on I got Lurkit. I got keys for free on Lurkit. They're very nice. They approved me getting the code. So it's a review of this game, but I did get it for free. And the sad thing about it that I've seen so far is hang on. Can I open this in a different tab? Is that it doesn't seem to be a miniature mode, if that makes sense. There's no windowed mode. It seems to be full screen only. So I'm trying to work out how I'm gonna play this, because I don't have a fancy second monitor. I have a drawing tablet which I've been using as a second monitor. But I have no idea how to bring us over there. Maybe I'll bring I'll bring OBS over there. So OBS will be on the second monitor. And I'll see you guys from the corner of my eyes. Oops. Oh no, oh no. The laptop is falling because it's balanced on a bunch of needle boxes. Because I don't have a proper stand. Okay. I think we're fine. And then... Oh, hello, Silfern! Hello, Silfern! Hang on. I can't see chat. Tene, at least we're still in your eyes, Tene. Thank you. I will have to turn over to look at chat, but I think that's fine. Hello, Silfern, how are you doing? Silfern, thank you so much for volunteering to be part of my cross-stitching era. It might take a while because I realize I've packed away the cross-stitch materials and I need to go and dig those out again. Okay. Let's try getting to the game. Alright, and I'm gonna have to do a little bit of fidgeting around here to get the game up and started with you guys. Don't mind me. Everything is scuffed. Hello, Karu. Hello, Karu. How are you doing? Today we're gonna play Inhuman Resources. It's a puzzle game from what I know. I haven't looked too deeply into it yet because I want to be as surprised as all you guys are. So I don't know too much about it. All I know is it doesn't seem to have windowed mode. So I have to do this really weird, tricky setup to make it work. But it looks interesting. So, you know what? Let's try and make it work. Echo. And is there music? Well... Is it showing up? It's not showing up. Why is it not showing up? Hello? Uh-oh. Why you like this? Please game. It's capturing the game audio. Why is it not capturing the game window? I'm gonna stay AFK while I work on the project. Good luck on your project. I'm gonna stay scuffed. I'm gonna stay very, very scuffed. Because it is not capturing the window for some reason. It's making me panic. Okay. Let me try game capture. Okay. Capture this. Okay. It's not showing up. Why is it not showing up? Wait, that's the dice. Why is does this work? Nope. Is it because I have two monitors? Is that what is happening? I should have troubleshoot this beforehand. Okay, don't worry. I have a solution. I have solutions. I know what to do. We are gonna display capture instead. And I think this did not. Wait, why is it not working? Oh, I haven't, because I didn't select the display to capture. Okay, we got it working. It's covering me. Oh no, no, we have it working. Okay, this is Inhuman Resources. There we go. We did it. It's really big. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's in view. Everything's visible. Sub goes invisible, but it's fine. Is the music visible? Visible? Audible? Is that music? I'm gonna bring it down a bit more so you can see stuff. And just gonna touch a few more things. And then I think we're fine. Okay. So this is Inhuman Resources. We did it. There's no music. It's really awkward. Let's play. Oh no. And thank you so much for the tour. What's this? Hang on, I can't see anything. This is a really weird setup. Thank you so much, Super, for the bits. Thank you. I don't know where my mouse is. This is the most scuffed setup ever. Tene right now, I know, I'm stressed. I've been joking to myself lately about a model saying, look at it standing so tall, the ground behind, look at that. There are two starting lines from the song Operating Shack by Front 242. Is that so? I don't know. I just say stuff that are sometimes lyrics. Okay. Inhuman Resources, everybody. It's a puzzle game. You're gonna see how bad Tene is at puzzles today. I signed in my name. I haven't signed in anything else yet. So this is all we've seen so far. There are 3 deaths. The first is when the body ceases to function. The second is when the body is consigned to the grave. The third is that moment sometime in the future when your name is spoken for the last time. David M. Eagleman. Very deep. Oh, phone call? Okay. Let me play the sound a little bit because I think it's coming through multiple times. We're just gonna have the desktop audio playing. An all too familiar screeching reverberates inside your brain. It reverberates because there's nothing inside your brain. The noise comes in waves, the pain follows suit. You try your best to ignore both, but the mere fact you have acknowledged the awful sound means it's already won. I'm gonna move the screen a bit so you guys can see everything. Let's do it. Let's do it like this. Okay. And that's better. Okay, I'm back. Hello. I'm back from shower. Hello. Your phone alarm is simply much too loud to ignore. Defeated, your eyelids peel apart like sheets of rotting Velcro, blinking back a bad night's blurry haze. You lie in bed, awake, against your consent. The room is almost pitch black, save for the intermittent flashing of your phone's screaming screen. A rancid, if routine stench of unwashed bed sheets, ew, bids you a bittersweet good morning. Wash your bed sheets, people. You're home, for better or worse, mostly latter these days. Just once you wish you'd wake up somewhere else instead. Just once you wish time would ask permission before racing ahead. But your phone doesn't care about what you want. The insufferable screeching drills deeper into your skull. As it drills, it finds that there's nothing inside there. You throw back your dirty blankets, blindly searching for the misbegotten beast. I like the dramaticism of it. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone? Oh, you can press and hold. The slab of thumb-smudged plastic feels comfortable in your palm. Most call the device ancient, but to you, it's cozy and familiar. Like an old, if outdated friend. Hang on, let me change the streaming category. Okay. No oversized touchscreen. No fancy graphics card for mobile games. No constant access to So or So G network. Just a simple tool. With a cute antenna that still allows you time to disconnect. You've always appreciated the old and the analog, despite the wider world's obsession with digitized progress. There's sincerity in physicality, a warmth to the object's weight. You cling to this relic as long as you can. Sensible upgrades be damned. You have a quiet old cell phone. You fiddle the phone, desperate to stop the alarm, but no matter which button you press, the shrieking will not end. That's because this isn't your alarm at all. It's your ringtone. Squinting in the dark, you barely make out the caller's ID. What a twist. It's your aunt. Aunt slash land, this is in caps. Landlady, technically speaking. Hopefully, just your aunt today. The woman is exhausting enough when she isn't asking for rent payments, no matter how overdue they are. We are such a loser. We don't wash our bed sheets. We're overdue on rent. We're living with our aunts, which you know it's fine. That's normal. Everybody does that. Still, should you really ignore a call from the one person that's still willing to support you between jobs? Getting too real. Press the accept call. You can't do this right now. I think we accept. It's rude to ignore people. Static crackles as your obsolete phone struggles to connect. After a sharp click, you mumble a hesitant hello.
Así mi clamo.
Oh, what's the aunt's voice? Hey there, sweetie. Hey, I can't do old people voices. Hey there, sweetie. Sorry for calling you out of the blue. Hope I'm not interrupting lunch. The scratchy facsimile, this is testing my English. The scratchy facsimile of her bombastically condescending voice greets you on the line's other end. No mistaking your dear auntie. But what's this about lunch? You flick on the light. I didn't realize it's a visual novel, but here we are. You flick on the light and glance towards your microwave's LED clock display. A shameful number stares back from the room's abyss. 1:29 p.m. You wince and make up a half-baked lie, pretending to talk with your mouth full. Your aunt doesn't seem to buy it.
Sigama no suku.
Well, I'm sure you're very busy. She's condescending. I'm sure you're very busy with job applications today. So I'll get straight to the point. Do you have any idea when you'll be able to send me last month's rent? I know money's been tight lately, but it's already the 31st. One missed payment is bad enough, but two? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to sit with my voice today. It's gonna be a lot of my voice today. Shit, landlady is accursed. I'm sorry. You feel yourself deflate, glancing to the tower of rejected job applications standing proud and precarious upon your messy desk. The top sheet almost grazes your modest apartment ceiling. Your aunt suggested to print each refusal, claiming they'd make your eventual hiring all the more rewarding. That's a terrible thing to do. You found that harder and harder to believe ever since the letters started to outnumber the dollars in your bank account. Oh.
Así mi clamo.
Sweetie, do you have some kind of estimate for me? I would really need an answer today. She doesn't seem like a nice aunt. I'll be honest. Chad, what will you do? Would you lie to our dear auntie? Or would you ask for more time? I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna put a poll up. I'm gonna put a poll. Would you lie? Or would you tell the truth? I have a lot timeline, but it's hard to say. I'm gonna put up a poll. I'm gonna put up a poll and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna drink some water and try to stop the laptop from collapsing. There's a poll in chat. You can type 1 or 2. Or I can pick the poll. Tell me if I should lie. Should I lie to Auntie? She doesn't seem all that nice, to be honest. Also, I didn't expect it to be it's not a visual novel. It's a, what do you call it? A book novel. It's a puzzle game. It's a written puzzle game. I wouldn't be able to think straight in a situation like this. Stress and anxiety will probably get to me. I don't know. I don't. What I would. I don't. I'm stressed. I'm stressed and anxious. I would like to think I wouldn't let it get this bad, because I'm already so anxious with things that I can't stand it. The bed sheets are unwashed. So I don't know if I would let it get this bad even. Oops, there's the poll. What did people say? Some tell the truth. Beg for more time to pay again. You swallow your pride. It goes down easy. There isn't much left. This game hates us. For the 100,000th millionth time, you swear to send your aunt the money the second you get a steady paycheck. Until then, there's no way you can conjure cash out of thin air. An uncomfortable silence lingers over your phone speaker. After several torturous seconds, a disappointed sigh comes through.
Tomoe Saka.
Sweetie, I'll let you rent that place to give you a second chance. Not to keep enabling this shameful do-nothing behavior of yours.
Jimena Gomi.
Honestly, I'd be more than willing to forgive delays if I knew you were actually trying. But you can't expect me to believe you've been pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and giving this job hunt all you've got when you've been living in a pigsty for the past year. Ouch. Pigsty? You deflect the woman's accusations, blabbering in desperate denial. But as your eyes drift over to the sorry state of your apartment, your ramblings soon turn to tragic silence. You've been immune to the stench for a few months now, but no amount of time will ever make you blind to the altars of wretchedness your neglect has erected. On the floor, crumpled stacks of crusty laundry, literally why is it crusty? What have we been doing? Why is it crusty? Literally unmapped ground like landmines in an active war zone. Why is it crusty? What have we been doing with the laundry that it's crusty? At the desk, fly swarms start from containers, amalgamate themselves into awkwardly unstable art installations. Your largest one can only be referred to as the Leaning Tower of Takeout. You see, it couldn't be me. I could not stand. But the bunker is really clean. In the kitchen, filthy cookware overflows from your sink, bathed in rancid dishwater. A layer of film has formed on the surface, thick as the crust of a creme brulee. Why is everything covered in crust? Don't tell me the fridge is crusty. The outdated contraption hums like a thermonuclear lawnmower, even though you know damn well it's not keeping anything cold. Maybe ketchup packets if you're lucky. We do live in a pigsty. Pigsty or not, there's no denying that this whole unemployment business has been taking a serious toll. Do you know what this sounds like? Depression? It sounds like all the symptoms of depression. I think the aunts should be a little bit kinder. Clearly we are going through quite a lot. One that's gone on long enough for your aunt's pity to become well-deserved contempt. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? It's not your fault these stupid companies won't hire overqualified geniuses. She's right, you're scum, worse than scum. She should just evict you and get it over with. You're sick of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. Can't someone else pull them up for you? Between these three, I think this is the most Tene answer. the most anxiety-riddled, self-deprecating one. You throw yourself into a dramatic tirade detailing your utter lack of worth, the hopelessness of human existence, and the filthy trash-strewn ditch you deserve to die in, preferably alone. Oh, this is becoming too real. By the time your aunt gets a word in edgewise, your face is slick with tears and mucus, your heart tied into painful knots. Enough! I'm sorry, alright? I didn't mean to be so harsh. Now calm down, please. Oh, we made her angry. Sounds like she's begging out of irritation than out of worry for your well-being. But you listen nonetheless, taking time to control your breathing and wipe away streaks of snot. The phone crackles with wobbled noise as your aunt lets out a groan.
Mena gomi.
Good grief, I know this mental health nonsense you keep talking about is a big deal, but you have got to get it together and take action somehow. You can't just keep using mood swings as an excuse to escape responsibility. That choice will get you nowhere. Tough love. Clinical depression. We've acquired clinical depression. You know what? I kind of suspected, but it's nice to finally have a diagnosis. You know, it's the only diagnosis I'll ever get because I'm too scared to go and get an actual diagnosis of anything. So it's nice. It's nice to know. You brace yourself as the woman prepares to deliver her most frequent, most frustrating spiel. You could probably repeat it word for word if you were ever held at gunpoint.
Matani.
Remember, sweetie, in our world, choices matter. The big ones and the small ones. We can't always take those decisions back, and we can't control their consequences either, which means we have to choose carefully. You most certainly have not been doing that. But if you have any intention of getting yourself out of this mess, you need to start making the right decisions, and soon. Hey Zelda, chess opening theme, you've acquired depression. You hang your head and nod, gulping down the last trickle of self-respect. Hearing his speech frequently doesn't make it any easier to hear. Aww.
Benda vachuku.
Anywho, enough of that. The real reason I'm calling you is that because I might have an opportunity for you. Job. You can tell by her inflection she means a job opportunity. Your reaction is practically Pavlovian. You salivate at the thought of your unrelenting financial woes finally coming to an end. You grip the cell phone tighter, aching with anticipation. This is getting too real. Except the job part.
Sigama no suku.
See, there's this problem employee at our company. He works at one of the local branches right next to where you live. But the man has a terrible attitude, and is even more terrible when it comes to, well, whatever it is you think we do there. You picture her limply waving a wrist in some vague, dismissive pattern, more of the highly confidential stuff she can't share but brags about anyway. Not that you're entirely sure what your aunt actually does for a living to begin with. Something to do with human resources, maybe. Name drop. You got the name. Needless to say, we'll be laying off the little sourpuss as soon as a fitting replacement is found. But we need that replacement fast. Company has a big business deal coming up. We can't afford to be short on staff right now.
Mojatami.
Luckily, I happen to know a certain someone in dire need of a job, and this position happens to be entry level. No major qualifications needed. It even comes with a sterling letter of recommendation from yours truly. Now, this won't be an easy job. Supervisors are very strict, and the anxiety is a way of following you home. Oh no. But as long as you nail the interview, you're basically guaranteed stable income for as long as you need it. Smaranakop. Let me try again. Smaranakop isn't prone to random layoffs.
Shakuni jata.
So how about it, sweetie? Shall I schedule something for you? Well... if we click this, does the game just end? Okay. I want an interview. High stress environment or not, it beats homelessness by a country mile. You agree to the offer with ravenous insistence. The woman breathes a sigh of relief and lets out a nervous laugh. It almost sounds like she's in she's in disbelief.
Enjo kateme.
Thank goodness you have no idea what it means to hear you say that, dear. You're literally saving my life. Uh-oh. You should probably be the one telling her that. But you won't complain about receiving gratitude instead of judgment. For once. Without missing a beat, your aunt hammers at her computer keyboard, drafting you an email. You clamber your way out of bed, tripping over a day-old takeout and mounds of dirty underwear as you rush towards your laptop. Tene, I'm cooking and they wish me luck, so won't repeat the pepper or good luck, Emma. Don't pour pepper. You know what? Pour the pepper in a separate bowl and then pour it over the egg.
Kimena Gomi.
I booked the earliest appointment I could possibly find. You should get an email with time, address, and job description soon. I'll enjoy my reading, by the way, Sam. I think there's going to be a lot of words. Be sure to read everything carefully and do not be late. Mr. Burgott will skin me alive if I send him another unpunctual idiot.
Shakuni Jata.
Oh, and make sure not to mention the whole depression nonsense during the interview. You know what, fair. I know a lot of workplaces are encouraging you to list down your mental health, but it honestly does you no favors. So it's better just to keep it quiet, as sad as it is. It might make Mr. Bergen think he needs to fix you. Fix you? Fiona and I will fix you. Rather than offer answers, your aunt whispers, farewell.
Binge Matani.
Good luck, sweetie. I hope you forgive me for this someday. That's not ominous. The line goes deathly silent, save for a droning dial tone. You get an urge to call her back, but the ding of an invitation appearing in your inbox catches your attention first. Can we wash up first? Uh-oh, your interview is today at 4 p.m. sharp, no less. You curse under your breath, rushing to shower and get dressed. Your stack of rejection letters gets knocked off by your charge and scatters across the room in a whirlwind of standard issue responses. You beg with every fiber of your being not to come home with a new failure to add onto the pile. Yay! We did a chapter. The waiting room. The packed full city transit bus comes to a creaking stop right in front of an old building you've never seen before. Shoving your way past crowded commuters, you step onto an empty sidewalk. The vehicle roars away, fading to the misty afternoon and leaving you utterly alone. You briefly wondered if getting off here was a mistake. Chat, do you think we're gonna die? Do you think that we're gonna just get there and they're gonna replace us with like a robot or something? What's the consensus? You review your aunt's documents, poring over the civic number, street name, and postal code, as though every character was a cipher to some secret code. By the time you finish your third revision, you're forced to concede. This must be the right address, but it's not remotely what you expected. I do this often. I double check addresses and times like 6 or 7. Don't make the joke. Like I double check addresses many times. Okay, Ruby, have a good lurk. Thank you for coming and following the bunker. I always double check all the addresses because I always get such anxiety. Oh, we reached our goal of 280 followers, Ruby. Our number 280. Thank you. We managed to reach the goal. We're gonna hit 300 soon, hopefully. 20 people will come in and deem Tene worthy of a follow. But we're so close. Okay. Yeah, I double check addresses and times and dates a lot because I'm always super nervous I have the wrong time. I get there super early and my anxiety makes me think I've arrived late or that I've missed the place that I'm supposed to go to. So what do we not expect? Nestled between two gleaming skyscrapers sits a much smaller, much stranger building. There's the unnerving facade. Glazed grey brickwork and pale veined marble unite to form a vast web of extravagant monochrome patterns. But despite all the details, the sum total still gives a sense of cold, calculated purpose. Almost like almost like a graffiti artist was designed to hire a palette-led God damn it. Why did it get so hard? Almost like an anarchic graffiti artists were hired. That's wrong grammar. If it's artist singular, it should be was. Almost like an anarchic graffiti artist was hired to redesign a palliative care center. The windows, as you climb the front steps, a set of Circular gold-tinted portholes stare down at you. They are unblinking, like the eyes of a giant deep-sea squids. Like the eyes of giant deep-sea squids. The glass is too opaque to see through, yet you suspect someone is on the other side, watching you approach. The massive front gate, made from half-ton hunks of glistening cast iron. The double doors have been decorated with intricate bas-relief of skyscrapers swimming in the fog. Bit ironic for such a stout little edifice. The alloy under the bronze doorknob has been smelted into the shape of a crown king's servant head. The object looks so realistic you're scared it will be warm and wet to the touch. Unfortunately, you see no keypads, handles, or ID scanners that will allow for easier entry. It's like D&D, but you don't decide, I decide. The local branch of Smyrna Cop is only 4 stories tall, yet feels impossibly imposing. It's caught between outdated aesthetics and timeless sensibilities, somehow both outrageous yet invisibly subtle, as if meant to be forgotten at a passing glance and to haunt those who gazes linger. You suspect you may be underdressed. Your clothes aren't filthy, of course. If anything, they're rather chic, or at least they used to be. Neither time nor depression have been kind to your apparel. For all of the class your best outfit once had, overuse has worn it down to a discolored, threadbare husk. This game is so mean to us. We're trying our best, aren't we, chat? We're just trying our best to get through unemployment. Meanwhile, lack of money, motivation, and belief you're worthy of nice things has prevented you from buying new clothes for the better part of 2 years. Regardless, what you've got will have to do. The hour of your interview approaches, and you won't have cash to afford a better outfit until this job is yours. Reach for the knocker and bang it against the door. The bronze object booms against the iron gates, even harder than your thumping heart. Moments later, something clicks and the latch comes undone. The doors groan themselves open, inviting you inside. You step into the building and are greeted by what seems to be a 5-star hotel's reception area. The room is utterly massive, with high ceilings that will rival a Renaissance church cavernous belly. Its windows let no sunlight through, and no fluorescent light bulbs fill it with their pale glare. I've got a hiccup. There are just low-hanging chandeliers and an array of green glass banker lamps, bathing the room in burnt orange. Upholstered sofas and coffee tables dot the space like islands, forming a winding path that leads to the room's distant depths. There, a woman stands behind a desk, flanked on each side by grillage elevators. The sharp machine gun clatter of a mechanical keyboard echoes across the room. You appreciate the old and analog, but Smyrna Cop's apparent fondness is downright ridiculous. Hopefully the receptionist won't feel the same way about your subpar outfit. Well, we should have confidence. Fake confidence. With little luck, it will read as self-assurance instead of total damn delusion. The dim lighting becomes dimmer the further you go, and thick shadows close in on you like claustrophobic walls. Wall-to-wall carpeting squishes under your feet, and an unfamiliar ammonia aroma assails your flared nostrils. Whatever they use to clean the place smells strong enough to double as a bioweapon, but still isn't enough to erase the lingering stench of cigarette smoke. The off-putting odor does suit the outdated decor, however. Except for these unsettling sculptures carved into the room's concrete support pillars, disturbing shapes that assail you from all sides, emerging from the shadows like pretentious interpretations of 21st century demons. On your left, headless nude bodies are contorted in pain as veins sprout through their skin like a tree sprawling roots. That's good, I'm gonna use that for D&D. On your right, a bleak rendition of what you assume to be Babel's Tower has been built out of steel girders, electrical wiring, and bones. And up ahead, you see human skulls whose scalps have exploded, revealing interwoven helixes of DNA strands and binary code. I hope you're doing okay, chat. I know it's a lot of reading. I did not expect so much reading. I guess I knew it was a puzzle game. Do you think we're just completely screwed? Do you think that we're just gonna... It's obviously a trap. What happened to good old-fashioned gargoyles? Unsettled by your surroundings, your eyes drift back to the woman working the reception desk. There are letters engraved in the wall above her, spelling out a slogan in twinkling silver font. Memore perpetuitas mutatio. If I know my Latin right, and I don't, it's memory in perpetual something. You don't know much about corporate branding, let alone Smirnakov's specific suite of services. Finish eating though, I think it might have been too much salt. Oh, congrats! You managed to make egg! You did egg, Sama! I'm reading a lot. Have you been enjoying the audiobook? But you're not sure how effective that cryptic slogan might be. You hope that your aunt's documents would have provided insight. Instead, they were mostly full of vapid statements about connecting modern businesses with industry-leading talent, or some such variation of the standard corporate tripe. Hope it was a good egg. You wave hello to the receptionist, but she doesn't even flinch. Her gaze remains glazed over, wholly focused on her work. She's younger than you first thought. Maybe 30, likely not quite. Sickly pale with sleep-deprived bags under her eyes, each one darker than the acrylic of a tidy black turtleneck. Her hair is knotted into a dainty bun, her fingers devoid of polish or rings. They move across the keyboard like demented tap dancers. Wait, no, not her keyboard, a typewriter. It's a really old one, made from brass, black plastic, and way too many moving parts. A relic from the 18,000s that looks like it barely scraped through both world wars. And you thought your laptop was getting old. It's good. It's good. Trying to add a bit of dramatic flair to reading. This is actually really good for role playing and D&D narration. You don't get quite as much narration in D&D, honestly, because it's mostly your players. You don't need to go into such detail, but it's good practice. There's also a small desk bell glimmering on the counter. Maybe you should... She's a secretary, not a Victorian era maid. Let's just say hi like a normal person. I think we ring it. Right, chat? We play by their rules. If they're going old-timey, we go old-timey. A pleasant ding resounds like clinking champagne glass. The woman's head snaps forward as though struck by an electric shock. She flashes you a beaming, not quite pearl-white smile. Oh no. Welcome to I'm bad at voices. Welcome to Smirnakov. Do you have an appointment? The words barely seep through the woman's gritted teeth. Her grin is so tight it hurts to watch. But there's no trace of frustration. She's the dictionary definition of too friendly, made uncomfortably manifest. Unsettled, you stumble your way through an explanation of your aunt's referral. The receptionist replies with a nod, squinting as she reads the writing on her typewriter's latest sheet. Ah, of course. We've been expecting you. I'm afraid Mr. Burgard is running a little late this afternoon. He'll need a few more minutes until he's ready to speak with you. But you're more than welcome to peruse our visitor handbooks while waiting. She gestures to a set of nearby couches and a table chock full of company pamphlets. But you're more surprised to notice someone else already sitting there. A young man with a bitter look etched onto his furrowed face. Could this be another applicant for the job? An irritated customer? I think it might be another applicant. You can tell us if you think different, chat. Damn, your aunt never mentioned competition. And if they turn out to be competent, you could be in big trouble. Your bleak musings are cut short by the receptionist's unpainted nails tapping on her name tag. I'm Madison. Melissa. Mel. God. Names. I'm Melusine, by the way. I'll call you as soon as Mr. Burgott becomes available. In the meantime, please let me know if you have any questions. I don't know if you can see, but it's a woman with creepy smile. With a grateful, albeit embarrassed nod, you walk away and slump in an old-fashioned sofa. Melusine's rickety typewriter clacking away once more. The couch's cushions feel quite stiff. Or maybe your stress clenched back does. You got back problems too, it's like real life. Considering the ferocious stare down you're receiving from the stranger seated across you, it could well be the latter. The steady tick of a vintage clock draws your gaze. Its hands point in opposite directions. 3:42 p.m. 18 minutes left. Good thing you came early. You still have time to prepare before your interview. But probably not enough to do everything you want. You have to decide where to spend it. Carefully. We can read through the pamphlets. You can help me a little bit, decision chat. You can read through the pamphlets to find out more about Smirnakov. Melissa, she got answer a few questions. Why not take her up on the offer? Strike up a conversation with irritated man. Maybe you could learn something from him. There's a magazine on the coffee table. Give it a closer look. I think magazine's out. I want to do something productive. Now it's interesting. We could read the pamphlets. But if I'm reading this right, they're probably not going to give us the whole truth, right, chat? Melusine, she seems brainwashed. I think... You can correct me. Tell me, what would you do, chat? What would you do in this situation? But I think I might go with the irritated man. And here's my reasoning. If they're irritated, right, they're less likely to be on their guard. They're more likely to spill stuff. This is D&D talking. They're more likely to be off guard, and out of frustration they could say stuff to him. Conversely, if they don't like us, then there's a chance that we just strike out and they're not gonna say anything to us. So I'm gonna talk to the irritated man. Time to break the ice. Oh no, I'm bad at that. Hopefully it won't be the very thin ice you seem to be standing on with this guy. You take a seat next to the stranger, introducing yourself with a smile. Rather than ease the tension, the man scowls as you were a clump of dog poopy, clinging to his shoe. I'm terrible taking decisions. It's okay. I could still use your input. It's better than me, cause I'm not so sure as well. His snarling voice sounds coarser than a poorly maintained gravel driveway. What the hell do you want? Can't you tell I'm not in the mood? Well, if you couldn't tell before, you certainly can now. You gulp audibly, worried this person might assault you at a moment's notice. But as you stammer out some vague apologies, you notice something surprising. He doesn't look all that angry, let alone angry at you. In fact, he mostly looks fretful. The man's calloused hands aren't balled into fists, but kneading each other with relentless worry. Sweat beads at the temple of his receding hairline, wearing down the gel melting down his tar-black locks. One of his legs shudders visibly, its foot tapping the floor of a breakneck tempo of a meth-addled punk musician stomping on the drum pedal. He reminds you of Melusine. He has the same not quite 30s face, same darkened, baggy, tired eyes. Same snug black turtleneck, kept tidy as a military uniform. But his name tag reads Emiliano. Wait, name tag? It hits you then that Emiliano isn't a company client nor a prospective candidate after the same job you are. He's a Smirnakov employee. Look, pal, all your staring is going to give me a fit. I just speak up or back off, alright? So, your aunt warned you how stressful this place was. Best leave him alone. Be compassionate and ask if something wrong. This is your chance to learn from someone with first-hand experience. Ask him what his job is like. What do you think, chat? Where do you think we should go with this? We could be nosy. in two different ways. You could be nosy in two different ways. Whoops. Or we could be, I'm sorry, I need to go. Wish you good luck. Thank you so much for dropping by. Bye-bye. Bye-bye for coming around. Oh, we could be nosy, but I'm gonna be nosy and kind. For you, the hardest part of the job hunting was always the impression of powerlessness combined with a feeling of tremendous isolation. Even one person who could sympathize with your woes would be a godsend. But this guy only reads your empathy as an insult. Oh no. Are you brain damaged or just actively trying to screw me? Seriously, if I'm getting laid off from the worst job I've ever had, why the hell would I want to get cheered up about it? Heck, if it wasn't for this poopy exit interview, it'd be the happiest day of my life. You're having a hard time picturing this being happy. I no doubt whatsoever imagining why the man was fired. Then suddenly you connect the dots. This must be the problematic employee your aunt was talking about. You cringe so hard your jaw aches. Offering to make someone feel better right before stealing their job is a level of awkward tension you weren't prepared for. Trying to recover from embarrassment, you change the subject to this exit interview, which seems to be causing such strife. Huh? Must be pretty new to Smirnoff if you're asking me that, huh? Look, if they wanted to tell me no hard feelings or ask how management could have done better, I wouldn't have a problem. But these bastards don't work that way. Every person I've ever seen get called into one of those meetings comes out looking like a walking corpse, and I don't blame them one bit. Honestly, I'd rather get castrated than go into that meeting. At least then I could bring my balls back home in a pretty little box. And they send a loud keep-up message to whoever they call to take my place. Well, it sends some kind of message. Still, despite the crudeness of his metaphors and the stink of booze on his breath, you sense Emiliano's fear runs far deeper than unemployment. In fact, you get the feeling he wants to protect the person who'd be taking over his job. Should you reveal your identity? I think honesty usually helps. After making sure the receptionist isn't eavesdropping, you whisper the truth into Emiliano's ears. His already bulging eyes grows wider as he realizes why you're here. Rather than appear relieved by your presence, you suddenly sense he's deathly afraid of it. You're not messing with me, are you? You are really here to work at Smirnoff? You nod, briefly explain your precarious financial situation, and assuring him you meant no offense by applying for a livelihood he'll soon be deprived of. But the booze-breathed man doesn't seem to register a single word you say. Rather, he interrupts you by leaning in so close, the surface of your respective eyeballs practically kiss. BL! Listen to me. It's too late for you now. The moment you walk through the door, your chance to escape disappeared. But what you can do is lessen any damage these bastards will make you inflict. The guy who's gonna interview you, Burgard, if your application satisfies him, he's going to ask you to go through an evaluation. A questionnaire that's meant to give you a taste of the work we really do around here. I can't tell you more without getting up to my neck in this poop. But no matter what happens, you gotta do everything in your power to fail the test, okay? His plea is earnest and full of desperation, yet is also patently ridiculous. Why would you purposely flop this preparatory evaluation when you're dying of a job? What does this onboarding have to do with Emiliano's firing anyway? Doesn't make any sense. Yet doesn't stop the man from begging even harder. You idiot! Do you not understand the kind of consequences this could have? This might just be a paycheck to you, but to me, it could mean life, or literal death. You've got to fail that test. This is beginning to sound less like a warning and more like a threat. And judging by the alcohol-tinged spittle splattering your cheek, it's not an especially sane one. Better cut this conversation short. I said honesty is the best way to go, but if you're in face of a maniac, sometimes it's better to just lie and back away slowly. With a condescending, comforting zone, you promise to save the drunk man as you slink away from him. You barely make a single inch before Emiliano grabs your collar, ropes of slobber paint your face as he begins to scream. You think I'm stupid? You think I can't tell when someone's lying? You have no idea what consequences this could have for me. Your littlest screw-up could cost me my life, so Do what I say and fail. You can't let them change me. You can't. The man shrieking turns into sobbing, but his grip only grows more feral. His claw-like fingers move towards your face. You're unsure if he's about to grip your throat, gouge out your eyes, or both. Whimpering, you cry out for someone to save you. Against all expectations, a booming voice actually answers. Mr. Aguilar, that's enough. Emiliano drops you instantly. His ears click as he turns to face whoever shouted, like a soldier awaiting inspection. In your peripheral vision, you see Melusine do the same, though her gestures much faster and much more practiced. You, meanwhile, are all fours, gasping for air and gagging on the smell of ammoniac cleaner. Never has the taste of chemicals ever been so sweet. You turn to thank your savior, only to choke on your breath once more. Standing in front of the elevators is, without exaggeration, the most massive man you ever seen. Ooh, Biel. He's taller than the fridge, twice as wide and perhaps thrice as heavy. The pure white of his immaculate dentistry contrasts with his dark skin, which reflects the room's dim light like finely chiseled onyx. Beneath the perfectly tailored patterns of his elegant tweed suit, muscles shift with every bated breath, threatening to burst through the seams. His pale blue eyes focus on you as he speaks with a voice like velvet thunder. Friend, you have my humblest apologies for my subordinate's inexcusable behavior. I'll be more than willing to discuss potential compensation if you deem it necessary, regardless of our interview's outcome. Interview, huh? This must be Mr. Bergand, your soon-to-be boss, luck willing. The ding of an elevator is suddenly heard, and one of the grillage doors by the reception desk creaks open. The tweed behemoth sidles his way into the shaft, packed tighter than a tuna in a small can. Biel. He beckons you to join him with a bratwurst thick finger. Come along now. I know I joke about the BL, but I think we're in for something. Come along now. We've already behind schedule and can't wait to afford any more delays. What's more, I frankly cannot wait to discuss your future with us here at Smyrna. Oh damn! He thinks you have a future. In that moment, Mr. Beauregard's big beaming smile is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Thank you. It's a tight fit, but you managed to wiggle yourself into the lift by nuzzling up to your future boss. He apologizes profusely for the cramped conditions, but he just laughs it off. No need to be embarrassed, happens all the time. And no need for all this Mr. Beauregard business. And the first name basis is fine by me. Before the elevator door can snap shut, someone opens their mouth and screams. Oh but yeah, wait! The angry-looking man you were worrying about suddenly drops to his knees, hands held together in prayer. Any aura of danger that once clung to him has been dispelled by his bubbling supplications, munching on knockoff Oreos. I hope they're tasty. Akaru, I hope you're enjoying the audiobook. Sure, I'm begging you. Just give me another chance. I swear I'll do anything. I'm paid overtime. I'll work on weekends. I'll kiss your goddamn shoes if I have to. Just please don't replace me. Mr. Bergen's only reply is a disappointed sigh. His bright white smile wavers, and tangible contempt taints his otherwise welcoming tone. Mr. Aguilar, you've had more second chances than I can count. And displaying such undignified desperation in front of a candidate set to take over your position is not ouch, an endearing choice. Frankly, there's nothing more I can or want to do for you beyond offering the standard company-issued severance package. The once intimidating stranger collapses as though shot in the chest. His body ripples with hiccuping wails, his fist powerlessly pounding at the carpeted floor. Your maybe future boss clicks his tongue. More disappointed than disturbed, he turns to give Melusine a firm look and firmer orders. Miss Saint-Saëns, please ensure our former staff behaves until his off-body is complete, will you? I'll attend to him once I'm done with our guest. The tired woman gives a nervous nod. I love hearing the speech your voice. This is no leopard cuff. Thank you, Carl. I'm trying to make it a bit lively. I know it's a lot of reading. The tired woman gives a nervous nod, rushing back to her typewriter as if nothing happened. The cracking keys are now punctuated by the tears of a grown man. Obia thumbs a few buttons, and the elevator door finally slides shut. Through the cracks in the grillage gate, you see the receptionist giving you a small wave, mouthing a worrisome farewell. Good luck. Before whether you can decide whether she's cheering you on or trying to warn you, the floor lurches downwards. Okay, we completed our chapter. I'm gonna take a 10-minute break because my voice a little bit hurt. so I'll take a short 10-minute break, everyone, and we'll be right back in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, we'll be right back. Okay, bye bye everyone. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll put on the music for everyone.
Need fast relief from fever and pain? Take Panadol Optizorb with up.
Okay. Hold back. Hello. But let's continue reading. I'm gonna try and go on for another hour and a half because I really wanna work towards having longer stream times. Hello. But I'm trying to stream for longer. Oh, so I got a train to go back to like 3 hours or so again. I see people going for at least a minimum of 5 hours, and honestly, I would like to get there. I would like to be able to do 5-hour streams. Oops. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I want to do 5-hour streams so that I can talk with you guys much longer. Good night, Lynn. Good night. Have a good night's sleep. Let's go on to the next chapter, the interview. Oh, there you go. The interview. After descending a short way, the elevator slows to a crawl, then comes to a complete stop, groaning under the combined mass of its unevenly weighted passengers. For a moment, you worry the cables have jammed. Clearing his throat, Mr. Berger reaches over your shoulder and points to the lift control panel. Would you do me the honor of entering our meeting room's access password? If you're going to be working here, you may as well learn how to travel across the office. Just type in that, if you please. Oh, and no need to be too brusque about it. Brisk. Precision matters more than speed with these odd doodads. I hope it doesn't disappear. I hope it's okay. Double S, double T, question mark, O. Can we still see it? Yes, we can. Okay, double S, double T, backwards question mark, O. The interviewer chuckles as he watches you fiddle with the eclectic symbols, amused by your apparent unfamiliarity. No doubt he's used to employees entering these combinations with routine deftness of jaded shoppers, typing in their PIN numbers during credit card transactions. You're still not sure why he's making you type the password in, or why the elevator uses passwords in the first place. Wouldn't keycards be easier, or normal numbers at least? Regardless, as the last button clicks into place, the elevator resumes its descent into increased momentum, plunging deep into the earth with no sign of stopping. After almost 20 seconds, you wonder if it's headed for the planet's core. You have to beg my pardon for the sluggishness. I've petitioned to have this thing replaced, but the encryptology department refuses to let us invest in newer models. Potential security risks, or so they claim. Boogeyman hogwash, I say. An upgrade has been long overdue. Maybe once our deal with radium finally goes through, there'll be a bit more welcoming of true progress, eh? You nod along politely, pretending to understand what he means. You're unsure the display looks convincing. Still, by the sounds of it, you'll be stuck here for quite a while. How do you kill time? Give those elevator buttons a closer look. Ask Obuya to explain his employees' unusual behavior. I think, and again, chat, sound off. What would you do? Would you ask the big boss or would you play buttons? I think Obuya, Mr. Burgard, he's gonna be a bit tight-lipped, right? He's obviously gonna lie, and he's not gonna give anything away. So I think I'm gonna play with buttons because I like to fiddle. Squinting at the control panel, you try making sense of the assorted icons decorating each key, trying to intuit the twisted logic linking them together. There must be some rationale informing the designs of these peculiar passcodes. Oh, this is like a 3. It's a 2. Oh wait, they're like the cut in half stuff, right? Kind of? No. This also looks like a 3. This is like another S. It's opening. Can I click it? No, you can't click it. I mean, it could be numbers that are cut in half, but they don't really. I mean, it could be 2 or it could be the omega symbol. This could be 3. It's just 9? 9. I don't know what this could be. F? I don't know. Unfortunately, the longer you look, the less you understand what the pi symbol and Greek omega have to do with any of these scribbles. You've never seen before. The bout of mental gymnastics required to even attempt drawing a clear pattern leaves you with a nagging headache. At least you can remember the whatever password Obuya gives you. How do you pronounce that? ST still star. In the end, you're so focused on decoding the secret behind Smirkov's buttons that you're startled by Burgard. I hope you're as excited for this interview as I am, friend. At the risk of sounding biased, I have very high expectations for you. Oh no. The woman who recommended you for this position, your aunt, I believe, she had nothing but great things to say. Oh no. She assured me you were an extremely positive person with a permanent can-do attitude and exceptional emotional resilience. And that's exactly the kind of person we need more of here at Smyrna Cop. You answer the giant's compliment with an awkward chuckle. Internally, however, you are screaming. You knew your aunt was bound to lie in order to guarantee you an interview, but could she have picked something more fitting for a clinically depressed shut-in who can't afford their own prescription? As you force yourself to smile through an impending panic attack, the elevator comes to a grinding halt, its grillage door sliding open. Squeeze your way out of here. Squeeze! It's a bit of a battle to wriggle past Obuya. Through you soon find yourself free of the claustrophobic lift and breathing a bit easier. Mr. Berg, I want a romance, Mr. Burgard. I know it's not that kind of game, but I want a romance. I want to seduce the boss. Mr. Burgard follows suit, flipping a light switch to illuminate an otherwise pitch-black room. Welcome to my humble office. Ah, so that's what this place is. An office wouldn't have been your first guess. The rectangular space before you is reminiscent of an oversized police interrogation room. The walls are painted glossy black, glistening in the sepia glow of a low-hanging ceiling lamp. And if it weren't for the obvious two-way mirror in the back, the room would appear infinite in size, a boundless expanse of inky shadow extending in every direction. A single desk sits at the room center, made from a block of carved mahogany. Coffee-stained paperwork covers its surface like some madman's wallpaper, and countless colored wires sprawl across the floor as though the varnished wood had somehow sprung electrical roots. Leather chairs fit to dwarf royal thrones loom over both ends of the table. No doubt, custom built to accommodate Mr. Burgard's colossal frame. Blech. He's big. Still want to seduce him. The behemoth briskly motions for you to take a seat. But you sink so far into the plush leather, it feels more like the seat takes you. Prying yourself out of these comfortable depths, your eyes turn to the sparse assortment of unusual baubles decorating the table's corners. On the side, there's an antique candlestick phone, whose mouthpiece is made to look like a large roosting bat. Novelty phones! On that side, there's an old-fashioned record player adorned with the gaudily gilded Smyrna Corp logo. Right in front of you, there's a nameplate engraved with the words Obuya Burgard, Senior Substitution Department Supervisor. And scattered all over the place, there are piles of VHS cassettes, each one labeled with tags written in Latin, Farsi, or ancient Greek. The item which perplexes you the most, however, is an old vinyl record snugly wrapped in yellow "Keep Out" tape. Mr. Burgard notes your interest with an amused arch of his brow. You wouldn't happen to be a fan of jazz, would you? I actually am. I like jazz. Obia's smile can grow no bigger, but it suddenly shines brightly upon hearing your enthusiastic answer. Well, then I'm quite excited to find out what a fellow connoisseur will think of this particular gem. Carefully placing the confidential vinyl to an old record player, Mr. Burgard lowers the needle and bids you to listen. A strange, somber soundscape slowly fills the office with blues-inspired rhythm you can't quite compare to anything you've heard before. It's not appalling per se, but perhaps a little messy and eerie enough to make you feel uncomfortable. The duet of voices of a man and woman muttering warbled lyrics only adds to the strangeness. You can't make out a word they're saying except for the chorus verse. Let's call the whole thing off. Gina and Herschel Gershwin. Twins, if you're wondering. Not a couple, despite all the turbulent rumors that once surrounded their odd relationship. I've never met them myself, but I do know they could have been bigger than the Beatles back in the band's heyday. The biggest case of my career was making sure they wouldn't be, and I always found it tragic that only one of their records was left intact in the world. Though I also feel quite lucky to be the man who owns it. Few will ever have the privilege of hearing such avant-garde work. Jazz is nice, very calming, but strangely, extreme metal genres calm me better. Is it the kind of like the voice, is the screamer voice in metal? You utter a few administrative oohs and ahs, feigning interest to conceal your perplexity. What kind of music that calms all of you down? Besides metal and jazz, is there anything else? What does a human resource company have to do with ruining musicians' careers? And how could Obia be employed, let alone alive, during the birth of rock and roll? He's not that old, is he? Before you can scrutinize the man's non-existent wrinkles, he promptly clears the stray documents from his desk, making space for a repulsively familiar sheet of paper. Your loathsome damned resume, laid bare for the world to gawk at. You're sick of seeing that thing. Obia interlaces his fingers, pale eyes darkening into a severe stare. You're suddenly keenly aware of how dangerous the man could be, should he choose to embrace violence over verbal repartee. Time to begin our little interview. I'll be asking you a series of questions. Some will appear rather peculiar, others rather innocuous. They may be difficult to answer at times, as you've not been made fully aware of your position, nor of Smirnokov's company goals. However, I still request that you provide honest and instinctive responses. Regardless of context, they'll give us a better idea of the role you'll be assigned during your time among us. Wait, you have to ace an interview before being told about the job you're applying for? Sadly, quite common nowadays. What a mess! Either Smirnoff has an unintuitive hiring process, or the non-disclosure agreements are so incestuously interwoven no one can get any work done without being strangled to death by red tape. Still, Obuya's words make one thing clear. The only way you'll get hired and earn a salary to pay the rent you owe is by acing this goddamn interview, no matter what it takes. Give a firm nod, reassure me, be earnest, give a non-committal answer, knowing you'll lie to make yourself seem enjoyable. I think we need to be confident, right? We need to show, even while lying, we need to be a bit earnest. Oboya chortles with satisfaction, the sound as deep and rumbling as a rock slide at the bottom of a well. This is also really good for English essays, if anyone's interested. Take all of these words, put them in your English essay, you'll ace. Wonderful, let's get started. Question 1. A runaway locomotive, oh no, it's a trolley problem, is barreling down a set of railroad tracks at uncontrollable speeds. In its pathway, 5 people tied down and unable to move. If nothing is done, the locomotive will surely crush them and end their lives in an existence. What would you do in the trolley problem? Do you kill the one person or do you kill the 5 people? You stand in the train yard next to a large lever. You know that if you pull it, the locomotive will divert its course onto a separate track. However, this will cause it to crush a different person who is also tied down to this alternate path. How do you ensure all 6 people escape this tragedy alive? Well, it's not quite the where do you see yourself in 5 years shtick you're used to. How the heck are you supposed to respond? Assuming you can operate a lever, you might also know how to remotely trigger the emergency brakes. You run fast and have deft hands, untie everyone before the trains arrive. Dodge the question by other ethical conundrums and how they expose moral biases. It's like a real interview. It's actually kind of tough. I'm definitely can't. I definitely can't untie. I'm slow. How many of you think you can untie everyone in like, I don't know, imagine 60 seconds? I don't think I can. I don't really want to dodge the question as well. I want to appear smart. I want to assume that I know how to trigger the emergency brakes. Um, so I'm gonna try. You're not exactly the most foremost authority on training and technological advances, but you're pretty sure conductors have developed multiple automated and manual failsafes specifically to prevent cartoonish catastrophes like this. If not, you have $1 million idea to pitch. That's an impressively refreshing answer. Although, to be candid, many representatives in other departments would strongly disagree with your technology based solution. Oh, yeah, they're all old fashioned. The tweed behemoth gestures to the yellowing documents strewn about his desk and the baubles at its corners. All of them appear to be ancient enough to have been stolen from an unsuspecting museum's older shelves. Smyrna Cop was built upon a simple idea that humankind's potential must not become entrapped by progress's false promises of privacy. Efficiency is no excuse to discard anonymous practicality. I don't understand what any of that means. Chat, do you? You know what he's saying? Our old hat philosophies and reliance on archaic devices have kept this company on the path to success for decades. That means they like old stuff. But the world is changing, and we cannot remain blind to the additional insights technology can provide. Not AI. After all, how can we think outside the box if we lack the tools to grasp how big the box has become? Especially in our ever so chaotic digital era. You're not quite sure how to respond to that, let alone how it applies to human resources. But you still managed to stammer out some words of agreement which hopefully imply you were thinking the same thing. Well, we have a profile. Wait, where's our profile? Oh, your overall intelligence relative to the meta machines influence your tools. I want to see the profile. I want to see our depression, our clinical depression that we are diagnosed with. Uh, these are just options. Where's the profile? Oh, oh my god. Oh, there's things to change. We have a cell phone. Oh, this is the story. This is the map. Oh, the map of stuff. It's probably the workplace map and oh, it's Tene. This is you for better. Oh, it's probably worse. Your aunt, the only person who still believes in you. Schmelkop, Emiliano. Hello, man. Is a handshake firm enough to turn coal to diamonds to propose with? The note you discovered. Wait, where's our profile though? Where's our? I want to see where our clinical depression is. It's not here. Not listed here at all. Now moving right along to question 2. Could you kindly emphasize your greatest flaw so it sounds like your greatest strength? Oh, I'm actually good at this. Be advised, I do not want to hear any of it cowardly. I'm too much of a perfectionist, or I'm a huge workaholic claptrap most folk use to make themselves sound flawless. On a proper blameworthy weakness could configure into a proper praiseworthy strength. Understood? I used to be really good at this. They call it smoking because you're putting up a smoke screen to make yourself look good. The behemoth leans forward and the room's darkness looms within. Chat, what's your greatest weakness but make it sound like a strength? For example, I always tell people, I'm always anxious about getting things done right, so you know that I'll always do everything I can to make sure that it's in order. Is a way to use anxiety in your favor. And for example, if you're lazy, right, you can say, oh, I like finding the shortest solution but making sure it works. So I will always try and find the most efficient method for it. That's how you rephrase stuff. Try it. Both closing around you like the walls of a solitary confinement cell or the rope of an eager hangman's noose. Better think of something good. You browse social media during work hours, but it keeps you updated on current event and tech trends. This will probably get us some more internet stuff. You spend too much time chatting with coworkers, but it helps you understand them and cooperate effectively. You often try to solve problems with brown out brains, but you're in great shape, so it works out. I think this is definitely gonna get us more tech, right? And I think maybe we rely on tech. And I mean, we're not. I browse social media too much anyway. Trying to see if people like what I post. The world is a volatile place, and not just politically. Advances in computing are constantly revolutionizing the way we interact as a species on daily business. But staying informed online allows you to adapt or even thrive despite these changes. It has nothing to do with the fact you have a mild internet addiction. I wonder response, if I do say so myself. Too often do our underperforming employees fail to consider the context in which our clients are placed, or the negative consequences a seemingly positive decision can have in the long term. A data-driven, future-facing perspective such as yours could prevent excessive occurrences of such common issues. Furthermore, in light of our upcoming partnership with Radium Inc., Radioactive, your familiarity in modern technology shall prove an invaluable asset for our onboarding, let's say, older fashioned staffers. No kidding. If it means the kind of staffers that work on typewriters instead of laptop, you practically need an on-call doctor to keep them from having heart attacks once you teach them touchscreens exist. Snickering under your breath, you prepare yourself to answer Mr. Burgat's following question. More technology. Now then, onward to your final inquiry regarding your schooling. I would like for you to, well, if you could just explain, goodness, how do I phrase this delicately? The behemoth's words turn into muttered mumbles, his velvet thunder voice degrading to something more akin to a bumblebee stuck in a big dog's mouth. His blue eyes dart between you and the paper's underwhelming bullet points with increasingly disgusted concern, as though finally noticing what kind of unemployable aberration has stepped into this building. It's a common reaction for anyone who reads your CV. The singers on the record player shout a loud suggestion to just call the whole thing off. The advice, for better or worse, goes unheeded. The risk of sounding insensitive. I truly appreciate some insight regarding your academic background. How do you believe a workplace of our nature could benefit from hiring someone with such a dubiously incompatible education? You begin sweating bullets, big bullets, the kind of caliber robot cops must use in action movies from the 80s. It's very flowery language. Of course, it's gonna come down to this. No matter how dearly you wish it was possible, you can't magically go back in time and study something more prestigious for today's diploma. But you might be able to describe your weird diploma in a way that makes a strikingly employable impression. You studied computer science, your skill of technology is all new. You studied ultimate frisbee, the apex of education for any team-loving athletic star. You studied child psychology. You're good at reading people and creating emotional rapport. We've gotten 2 points in technology. Now, as a DM, who sometimes plays in the D&D as well, what I usually like to do is just dump everything into a single stat and be really good at that one thing. There's something to be said for rounding out your stats. Isn't that right, chat? What you guys? Do you usually round out your stats? Or do you just dump everything into a singular stat and just be a godlike in whatever it has to do with that? I usually just dump into all one stat. And if the rest of the stats are not so good, that's okay. Hi Axolotl J, hello. We're playing Inhuman Resources. It's like a book. It's an audiobook today. How you doing? Also, do you dump all your points into a single stat, or do you prefer to be all rounded? What did I do? Why are you gonna kick me? What did I do? Didn't do anything. Come in here, threatening to kick me. I'm sad. Like, being good, I promise. Wait, what do you mean? You came in here, you threatened to kick me, and now you say you want to be good. What's going on? You having I having one of those weird days. I'm just gonna dump everything into computer science. I did study a little bit of computer science anyway, so it's accurate. Your fondness for analog tech drove you to learn the design principles of computers and the algorithms they operate by. This gives you the ability to operate most devices by instinct. I thought you were someone else. Who do you think I was? Who are you gonna kick? Inventor Smirnoff Corp's machinery is antique by most standards. You're likely to use it faster than most candidates. Trying to capitalize on the company's obsession for the obsolete, you discuss a few obscure principles from your past seminars, explaining how binary code dates back to the 16,000s, or how digital computers were first designed in the 19th century, long before the advent of microchips. Mr. Burgard practically salivates as he listens to you speak. My friend who streams. Am I not your friend who streams? It's very wordy today. It's a very wordy game. So this is kind of like an audiobook I'm just reading out to all you guys. I hope it's alright. Oh, the box. I see. He streamed once and never again. Is that it? You have no idea how refreshing it is to meet someone this day and age with such a thorough appreciation for the inventions that paved the way for modern progress. Too often do our competitors only look towards the new, cutting edge, the improvable. But our company has endured by sticking to what this is an interview, a job interview, sticking to what works, advancing the applications of technologies rather than the designs. An individual such as yourself who grasps the value of the philosophy will no doubt fit right in. Furthermore, it appears that this fascination of yours belays a great love for learning about computerized devices. I would even expect you to be teaching our new recruits in a few months. No different than a real job. We somehow managed to impress the boss, of which I kind of want a romance. I want to romance the boss. It's a pretty ambitious endorsement, promising though, way more promising than you're used to. More tech. I still don't know how to see. Oh, you have acquired computer science specialization. How do I see it though? Like, I don't know how to see. I don't know how to see where all our stats are. These are the profiles. Uh, this is the chapters. I think we're still in chapter 1. Oh wait, wait, I found it. Wait. And you guys came in. I finally found it. You guys are amazing. The computing skill required by studying the inner workings of processes and the metaphysical. We are really bad at being physical and being social, and we have clinical depression. Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, these are my stats in real life. This would probably be much lower as well. Uh, okay, let's continue. Anyway, I believe that concludes our questionnaire for today. As for your results, the man's enormous fingers crumple your CV. Gotta make aptitude 6. I know. I gotta socialize more. And those CV no toss it aside. It bounces across the wire-laden floor, disappearing into an inky corner of the abyssal room. Your chest tightens, panic swells, catastrophic scenarios and thoughts of crushing failure explode throughout your head. It's just my thoughts. Obia's beaming smile diffuses them all. Tell you the truth, this little meeting of ours was nothing more than a corporate mandated formality. Between your aunt's glowing recommendation and the fact you showed up to our office on such short notice, I knew from the very start I'd be wanting you on board. Just pretend that he's flirting with us. After this discussion, I'm pleased to announce that my hunch has been confirmed, and I'm most pleased to be extending you a permanent employment offer. He's clearly mocking you. Pinch yourself and awaken from this embarrassing dream. Hang on, you actually want to? He wants me. He wants me, chat. You heard it. He wants me. You've never been this close to getting employed in ages. You almost expect the man to reveal as a cruel prank this whole time. Instead, Mr. Burgard chuckles, amused by your aghast reaction. I'm dead serious, friend. In fact, you didn't just meet the expectations, you exceeded them.
Ajobonica.
Our exchange has revealed that you are an incredibly resourceful and technologically savvy individual, able to employ every tool at your disposal to its utmost potential. Whether faced with a technical issue, a need for urgent repairs, or complex procedures involving Smirnokov's device, I've no doubt you'll be quick to adapt, thriving where others would flounder. He's showing to us. There's a risk your focus on the cutting edge may cause you to lose sight of the human elements in certain situations. But your addition to our ranks as a technician would be an unquestionable benefit.
Tome baden.
So, would you deem my interpretation of your aptitudes correct, or have I misconstrued the content? Is this asking? Is this saying that we can reroll stats? I'm scared though. I think we got really good stats. They're just gonna say, "Yep, I'm good at tech." Flattered by OBR's appraisal, you relish in the satisfaction of having been truly seen. Finally, it's not every day you get such a precise, quantified breakdown of your unique skills. May they serve you well in tackling the horrors to come.
Ajobonica.
Good, very good indeed. In that case, I'll nudge administration to start producing your contract. I unfortunately have to remain cagey about some details such as workplace tasks or starting salary until all the legal hoopla has been. Don't do this, guys. Don't go into a job if they don't give you a salary. It's not worth it. Okay? They need to tell you how much you're getting paid. Or else you're gonna end up in a death trap like this. But assuming you care to accept a generous starting offer, Mr. Burgott's chuckle deepens as he extends a massive hand. His blue eyes are bright with joy, his tongue hungrily running over his pure white teeth.
Gawona kimo.
It is now me to informally welcome you as the newest member of Shmaran America. I look forward to reviewing your performance. It's actually happening. You're gonna have a job. You're gonna have money. Enough money to pay rent, keep a roof over your head, eat food, anything. You could cry. I'm gonna cry a little bit. He doesn't answer your appreciative words. Rather, he reaches forward, leaning towards your hand, the way something in the tall grass would stalk towards unaware prey. Instinct urges you to pull away, but the behemoth's pounce comes too quickly. Before you can possibly react, your entire hand is engulfed within a fist the size of a ripe cantaloupe. Oh. Uh-oh. Help. That help. Oh no! Almost instantly, something begins to feel terribly, terribly wrong. Despite Mr. Burgott's pure white smile, feels as though your new boss is trying to leave you crippled from the wrist down. My hand! My hand! Ah! But all that pain is nothing to the wait, knuckles crunch, folding in on each other, metal carpals squeak and whine, articular cartilage between them crumble into collision sand. But all that pain is nothing next to the sharp, stabbing agony suddenly shooting through your palm. You cry out in pain, but Burgott to let go, fight to pry your fingers free, but the giant's grip is iron and deaf to your complaints. If anything, he squeezes harder. Oh, we should have picked Braun. We should have been stronger. Right? If we were stronger, we could escape this. The needle point pain inside your hand sinks in even deeper. Deep enough for you to think it might pierce the whole way through. Deep enough to wonder if it could somehow kill you. Your jaw unhinges to let out a scream. Before a single sound comes through, Mr. Burger lets you through an innocent sounding oops.
Tome baden.
Dear me, I was a tad too firm, wasn't I? Beg pardon, friend. I tend to forget my own strength sometimes. Is my hand broken? The behemoth lets out an apologetic chuckle. You force yourself to chuckle back, but the laughter takes tremendous effort. It's hard to buy his excuse, no matter how believable it may be. Panic, you palpate your thumb and numb fingers, searching for any scars left by the thing that was drilling through your bit. We made a warlock now. We made a contract with a devil. There's no wound, no torn skin, no deep cuts, not even mild bruising. You don't feel the pain anymore. What do you think? Did we just make a deal with the devil? This is how warlocks get their powers. All you find is a single bead of bright red blood, no bigger than a pinhead. You wipe it away frantically, seeking what lurks beneath. It's warm to the touch, and leaves a scarlet smear across your skin like a painter's brush. Yet, there's no sign of where the pain has come from. No wound, no scar. There could be some swelling, but it's faint enough to make you suspect the bulge isn't really there. Maybe, just maybe, it was all in your head. Ah, if there's no wound, is this someone else's blood? Investigate the swelling no matter how paranoid it may be. Ah, what do you think? Is it someone else's blood? I mean, the swelling could be from him crushing too hard, or it could be something that's actually in our hand. The wounds, do we care if it's somebody else's blood? I think the swelling, right? You press down hard with the tip of your thumb, searching for a lump or stiffness. Before you're sure you spotted something, a clatter interrupts you. From one of his desk drawers, Mr. Burgard withdraws a slab of metal the size of a stove tap. At first, you assume it's a tablet device, custom built to fit the tweed giant's fingers and resist their vice-like grip. Or perhaps a turntable meant for aspiring DJs, painted in drab colors. Closer look reveals something older and chunkier, made of grey aluminum and solid beige plastics. Blinking buttons, flickable switches, knobs and sliders of all kinds decorate its crowded surface, with a cluttered interface too complex to grasp at a glance. You recognize the machine from your studies in the computer science. It's a video mixer, often used by TV stations to control input signals during live studio broadcasts. Obia's model seems to be a refurbished antique from the 1970s, only compatible with televisions that are no longer produced today. Mr. Burgard bends over to grab heaping handfuls of wire off the messy floor. Seemingly at random, he sorts through dozens of them at a time, plugging only a paltry few into his device's outlets.
Ajobonica.
Now that the pleasantries are finally done with, I suggest we proceed to the evaluation portion of our exchange. Aha, you were wondering when you get to that part? The behemoth, taken aback by your expectant nod, is even more surprised by the nervousness of your lousy poker face can't conceal. Though you were told to expect a test, you were also warned to be wary. And you're not particularly excited to find out what the machine has to do with it.
Udobijaji.
Come now, no need to be so agitated. I already agreed to hire you. It's not like I'll be terminating your employment before your first probationary milestone. That's a threat.
Baden.
The format of this evaluation will be similar to our open-ended interview questionnaire. But this time, I'll be presenting intentionally confusing scenarios that most Smyrna Corp employees might encounter during their day-to-day tasks. Your goal is to present solutions to each particular problem as you deem appropriate, regardless of how unconventional the suggestion may be. BL is the answer to everything. I'm in a BL mood today. Yet again, there are no wrong answers, but I will tally your responses to determine how much supervision you require during onboarding. I think this is the main gameplay.
Yonakimo.
In other words, I once more encourage honesty over making a good impression for both our sakes. He flicks a large switch upon his instrument dashboard. A low droning, palpable hum fills the shadowy room. The light bulb hanging above you flickers, then goes dark, bathing the dim room in a nigh absolute blackness. Only the device's glowing buttons reflecting the two-way mirror provide you with any light.
Ajobonica.
Shall we get started? Let's call off the whole thing, the record player begs you, over and over again. It seems to be stuck in place and skipping a few beats. I bet the souls are trapped in that record player. Fortunately, your body is also stuck in place, petrified in your plush chair, and your heart is skipping a few beats more. You give your sore hand a tight squeeze and hope the throbbing will stop soon. Let's ask for more information. Mr. Burgard denies the request with a firm shake of the head. Ignorance is key, he explains. The more prepared you are, the more inaccurate results. and I'm a man who greatly values precision. Your new boss's breathless thick fingers push one of the machine sliders to its absolute limit. The room's bassy hum increases in pitch and frequency.
Come baden.
I'll start you off with an easy one. Let's say, hypothetically, that you're supervising a group of employees from a different company. They hired you to isolate the source of their decreased productivity, then remedy this issue. And it does not take long for you to identify the problem. One of the staff members is extremely troublesome. The giant pauses, uttering a tisk of irritation. It seems he wasn't supposed to specify. Oh, hello, Plus! Hello, Plus! Thank you for subscribing for another month. Hello, hello! How you been? It's been a while since I've seen you. Are you doing okay? Thank you for coming to the stream. It's a lot of reading today. It's I won't. It's like an audio book today. It's a very wordy game. Hello, Plus. Well, we were in a job interview, and now we're in like the evaluation portion. He's giving us some quiz questions that we have to work out. You're doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. Thank you. I hope you're happy as well. I am. It's been a pretty good day. I'm hoping we can stream a little bit longer today. But this has been a really long game, and we've only just gotten, I think, to the main gameplay loop. It's not been bad. Oh my god, a job. I need to say this is it's the job in game. I didn't actually get employed. I've been tricking people into thinking I actually got a job, and I feel a bit bad about it. Okay. Let me read them. It seems he wasn't supposed to specify this mystery employee's gender. When he speaks again, he enunciates slowly, with more careful consideration. Yeah, I'm sorry, please. I didn't actually get a job. I got a job in this game. Does that count? Thank you, please.
Gimau hone.
This hypothetical individual has an undeniably inadequate productivity level. They never meet bare minimum expectations. They lack punctuality, disrespect their colleagues, browse unsavory websites with company property. They're looking at Rise. They're looking at Rise's stream on company hours. Instead of dedicating their limited work hours to completing overdue, urgent paperwork, the misconduct is continuous and condemnable.
Ajobonica.
The employee has been given multiple warnings and provided with opportunities to improve their performance. Which sounds like an evaluation about me. Have you ever been evaluated at work, guys? And if so, or at school, do you like evaluations at school? Is it scary? Let me know in chat. What do you think about being evaluated by someone? Anyway, both have either failed or been ignored. The client is contemplating firing the problematic worker, but are concerned that becoming understaffed during an especially critical moment of fiscal quarter could jeopardize their important deadlines. What do you think should be done to re-establish the client's baseline productivity? We got a special thing. We don't have this child psychology thing, so we can't choose that. Took so long to find a job, firing someone make you sick. Give them one more chance, the person should be laid off regardless of deadlines. They harm more than help. Install software on their computer that limits access to non-work websites. Let's go with this. If the employee just compulsively texting and web surfing, why not cut off the problem at the source? Most office networks limit access to undesirable content nowadays, so it can't be that hard to set up. Plus, it'll prevent future staffers from indulging in the same habit. Do your internet-based solution might be complemented to implement in a workspace that relies on refurbished typewriters. There's a lot of reading. Abuya's blue eyes bulge with administration admiration. His lips curling into epiphanic ooh.
Noticeamini.
That is exactly why I keep telling upper management we need fresh thinkers in the office. The perspective you bring to the table aren't limited by our old hat ideologies and are much more in tune with the planet's current digital landscape. I think he's the devil, by the way. It's the devil in disguise. The devil's trying to be tech savvy. That's why the upcoming deal with Radium Inc. won't just improve our technological infrastructure, it'll improve our technical literacy. and technical imagination. I've never been to a workplace where I am like the technical head. I think of all people, you don't want Tene being the one with the most technical knowledge in the workplace. The workplace is going down
Gawona Kimo.
while role playing someone smarter. Furthermore, I love that the core of your strategy essentially relies on imposing discipline through ignorance and obfuscation, which are techniques Smirnakop values dearly. After all, how can slaves ever think to disobey if they're only allowed to learn obedience? Whatever you say, you're not sure you enjoy the comparison. Yet, as if emphasizing his point, the giant fiddles with his antiques devices, myriad buttons and knobs, and a series of complex operations. Obia completes his complex mechanical operation with a flourish of flashing lights and a sequence of high-pitched beeping. The machine's noises are loud but not startling, not compared to the other sound. It's faint at first, muffled, maybe distant, subtle enough to make you wonder if it's part of the record player's tune. But the longer you listen, the more unmistakable it becomes. I'm gonna use this in D&D. I'm gonna play a weird sound. Somewhere, someone is screaming. Your nails dig into the armrests of your overlarge leather seat. Your eyes dart about the room, searching for the noise's source, before landing on a two-way mirror and your own aghast reflection. It's coming from across the glass. You hold your breath and wait for the scream to rise again, but there's only the record player's music. Music and the white noise buzz of Burka's machine as he you back to attention.
Kudo Mijaji.
If you're in need of a restroom, I can point you to the right direction. Otherwise, I'd ask you please complete this evaluation with a smidge less fidgeting. It negatively impacts our tool's acoustics, you see. It's like you didn't even hear it. Was a scream inside your head? Just like the pain in your hand before, or maybe... He clearly will lie, right? Or maybe he's so confident in himself that he's not gonna lie. Is it good to be curious? Should we be curious? Or does that get us killed? Let's tempt fate a little bit. He sighs in irritation, his friendly facade fading for a frightened split second as he states the seemingly obvious. Of course I heard it. Now pay attention, this is important. Obuya flips another switch. I'm gonna drink some water. The room's buzzing shifts into a frequency so oddly low you can feel it sending ripples through your organs. The giant gestures your way with steepled fingers, further disturbing your unsettled guts. Now, let's say, still hypothetically speaking, that our problem employee has a more specific shortcoming. He's utterly unwilling to cooperate with one of his co-workers. Perhaps it's a matter of long-standing interpersonal friction originating from external sources. Maybe there's an irreconcilable difference between them in terms of morale, political, or religious beliefs. Regardless of the exact circumstances, our floundering staffer has proven themselves incapable of playing nice with their high-performing teammate. This has resulted in a severe decline in both their productivity levels. Knowing that we cannot relocate the employee to a new department, nor displace their high-performing partner, how do we ensure the former collaborates with the latter, despite the deeply rooted discord between them? You put them in a room and they're not allowed to leave until they hug it out. Okay, this is not gonna help us. I think it's just gonna irritate him. We don't have enough social aptitude. High performance doesn't prove innocence. Maybe the bad employee is being sabotaged. Success should be rewarded and failure punished. Fire the problem employee. I mean, this is hard. What will you choose, chat? I wish we had some social aptitude, but we went and got a computer science degree instead. Also, my voice is going a little bit. And instead of D&D tomorrow to narrate. I think, okay. If there is an issue, I think you should always investigate it. It's not uncommon for high-ranking staffers to throw colleagues under the bus just to make themselves look good, and neither status nor seniority can excuse cruel behavior. It would be irresponsible to lead to the productive employee's defense before investigating impartially. Puff out your chest, proud of your well-worded statement, firm and commitment to ethical justice. Got a bit distracted, that's okay. Welcome back, Haru. That pride instantly wanes when Obia begins sneering. His smile narrows into a condescending slit as he adjusts his machine specs. Before, you poor naive little thing. Before you assume to be heartless, let it be understood that I agree with your thesis. The scenario you speak of is not uncommon, especially in this workplace. But to be completely frank, my chief concern is the officer's productivity level, not the mental well-being of a consistently inept employee. Therefore, even if a staffer is behaving problematically, I'm willing to overlook minor offenses so long as they can meet a deadline. So, like every office out there. As for those that negligence affects, well, the part is rather unfortunate, yes, but we have ways of making them forget anything untoward happening in the first place. Before you can ask the interviewer what he means, another sound reaches your ears. It's not the person's scream this time. Neither is it the vinyl's tune, nor a machine's hum. Rather, it resembles a dull, wet, rhythmic thud. Once, twice, thrice, you hear it, a little louder every time. Your eyes dart about the room looking for the noise's source. You find it staring back at you from across the two-way mirror. You see the handprint of a blood-stained palm slapping against the looking glass, begging to be let out. Mouth goes dry as it hangs open. Your fingers shake as you start to point. Then, without a word of warning, the thudding suddenly stops. All that remains is silence, and a message written in scarlet smears. A cry for help no one can answer. Obia looks over his shoulder, seeing the red stain. You wait for him to react, to gasp or even scream. All he does is harumph at it, annoyed. I really need to put more pressure on that janitor. The soundproofing in here has been unacceptable as of late. With more grouchy grumbling, he tweaks a couple of his device's knobs as if nothing happened. Then, noticing your aghast expression, he furrows his brow, not with concern but confusion. Is something the matter? Do you freak out? I mean, I don't wanna die. Oh, you guys do. If I was in this situation, I would just get up and leave. But I think maybe we just play along. You wipe the sweat from your brow and try to control your breathing. You tell Mr. Burger must be air down here making you lightheaded. Feels like you keep seeing this, but none of this can be real. It can't be. Wonderful. I'm thrilled you're also willing to be so cooperative despite these distractions. Now, regarding the conclusion of our conjectural conundrum. Let's say, and I cannot stress this enough, that our aforementioned staffer is, hypothetically, assigned to contain a major data breach. One with consequences that could spell disaster for the company and co-workers. The sensitive nature of this task requires them to exterminate or indefinitely debilitate so kill or maim any individuals who have witnessed this leaked information so that they can become incapable of further dissemination. In this case, the information has only been accessed by two people. The employee's spouse and their prepubescent offspring. Needless to say, our employee is reluctant to perform their duty and exterminate these individuals. However, if either family member remains alive, the company stands to lose everything. Furthermore, should they refuse to tie up these proverbial loose ends, you will be required to do so in their place, as outlined in your Smyrna contract. In short, how do you ensure these targets perish as intended, and that this data breach remains contained, regardless of this problematic employee's hesitation? We do have our computer science degree. Review security protocols to prevent these leaks from occurring. When the consequences of failures are steep, preventing catastrophe becomes a priority. Thus, you stammer out countless cutting-edge security solutions that could stifle data breaches before they happen, as well as suggesting a few methods to kill the company's targets without getting your hands dirty. First, you were terrified that Mr. Berger might view your answer as a cowardly method to escape an unenviable responsibility. But rather than disappointment, the man's eyes widened with unexpected intrigue. You know, I've never really considered the precautionary potential of digital technology in such a way before. These inventions always seem too full of security flaws to ever be reliable. But I suppose my short-sightedness is yet another reason why our coming partnership with Radium will be beneficial. What I appreciate about your answer, however, is that it remains aware of our priorities, while considering unorthodox yet humane options. After all, you never asked me to spare the lives of our problem employees' family members, nor do you question the importance of containing a data breach. You merely accepted the fact and considered a solution wherein something else could resolve the issue in your stead. That, my friend, aligns perfectly with Smyrna Corp's replacement-driven philosophy. Before you can contradict any of that, the tweet behemoth's strange machine begins emitting a deep moan, the monitor finally displaying your evaluation's tallied results. Well, this is genuinely impressive. I had high hopes for you, but this exceeds even those anticipations by considerable leaps and bounds. Most of our employees need months, if not years, of training to properly optimize our procedure while foregoing all ethical concerns. For you to dedicate such I think we're just a computer science nerd. Well, obviously, we're really bad at social norms. What? We're on the spectrum. We're really dedicated to just the facts. Assuming that all of this is hypothetical. For you to demonstrate the dedication to efficiency without need for orienteering, that tells me you're destined to accomplish great, terrible things at this company. Why, I barely had to make adjustments to your doppelganger engineering suggestions. Doppelganger? Oh, is that a clone of us on the other side? Unfazed by your panic and bafflement, Mr. Bergan reaches for a nearby candlestick phone. The mouthpiece realistically macabre roosting bat design makes it seem like he's clutching a live pipistrelle. Shoving it against the cabinet is his giant mouth. We're done here, you can show them now. We're gonna see ourselves, aren't we? On the other end of the line, a reply is chirped. Obia hands you the phone and motions you to listen in. His pure white smile looks wide enough to tear his cheeks at the seams. Except the phone. You gingerly seize the occult antique. It takes you a few tries to grasp how the winged mammal is meant to be held, and even longer to hold the earpiece to your head. By the time you figure it out, you wish you hadn't. The two-way glass at the back suddenly turns transparent, revealing another room yet filled with aesthetic contradictions and logical anomalies. Your first urge is to scream, but your voice makes no sound. Perhaps your cries are deafened by whatever the heck is going on. You stand before what seems to be a hospital operating room. The walls are adorned with a mix of dark wood panels and mounted stag heads, bathed in the sterile glow of circular fluorescent lamps. In the far back, you see the silhouette of two surgeons toiling away behind the curtain, carving apart the skulls of their fully conscious, unsedated patients. You want to look away, but you can't even blink. There's just too much to take in. There's the patient themselves. They almost look like twins. Both have been tied down with belts to their respective surgical tables. Both men with tan skin, furrowed blouse, and blood-stained stares. Both have the tops of their head partially concealed by curtains where the surgeon's silhouette prod their scalps with forceps. Only one of them is screaming, as though death would be a mercy. There's the surgeon tools. Blood-stained aprons hang from wooden coat racks, while stainless steel surgical trays contain an assortment of gruesome devices. Bone saws, hand-cranked drills, and strange hairy bone-white bowls glistening with dark red. Stomach gurgles upon realizing they are sliced-off tops of human skulls. There's a television hanging from the ceiling. Boxy Technicolor units have been suspended above each patient's head. Their crackling screens blast them with an unrelenting montage of childhood video tape footage, wobbled ECG readouts, brain scans, news network broadcasts. Each man's eyelids are held open by metallic speculums, denying them the privilege of looking away. And there's the woman taking notes. She stands with her back to you, jotting down observations on a clipboard. As she studies each victim's distinct reactions, though her shoulders are shaking, she writes with a steady hand. The muffled sounds of saws slicing through bone threaten to make you throw up, but instead you feel your heart sink deeper into a pit of nausea and you realize something truly chilling. You recognize two of the people in that room. I think this is our auntie, or maybe I think it's our auntie, and I think this is the man that we saw outside. I'm gonna we could talk to our aunt about it later. Or we could like, we know he's screaming, we don't know what's happening here, but we could talk to our aunt. Oh no, it's not our aunt. Sensing your stare through the glass, the woman turns around. Details leap out one at a time, making the pit in your stomach sink deeper. A black turtleneck, a hairband, a tight smile, spread too wide. Exhausted eyes bulging and bloodshot. Pupils shrunk to tiny pinpricks. Melusine. After the man attacks you, you believe the man was insane, but now watching that receptionist smile without blinking, tears brimming in her eyes, and blood stains wetting her clothes, Aguilar's mental breakdown makes more sense to you than ever. As to prove your point, the loudest of the two patients screams at you for help. You! Please, tell them I'll change, tell them I'll do better, please don't let them replace me. Leslie, I'm begging you can't do this to me, I have a His words are cut off by a gurgling spasm, eyes rolling back in their sockets as the surgeon's silhouette behind him cuts something inside his head. Blood and brain matter splatter the curtains, hiding the worst of the scene. But sounds of scorching meat and bones still carry over the receiver. Yet it's the other patient's calmer voice that truly makes you nauseous. He doesn't just look like Emiliano. Sounds like him. Exactly like him. You, please tell them I'll change. Tell them I'll do better. Please don't let them replace me. The lookalike's face remains impassive, even as his exposed brain is prodded at with a hand-crank drill. Yet the imitation of his neighbor's blood-curdling cries is perfect. Every nuance, every pause for breath, reenacted down to the finest detail. Better than any audio recording you could ever imagine. More immaculate, a simulacrum than any man or machine could ever be capable of. It's so perfect. In fact, you're no longer certain which is the real Emiliano. I'm gonna drink some water. My voice really hurts. Everyone okay? Everyone doing alright? Hey Miss Lynn, how was that? Am I laying the accent on too thick? Seems fine to me, but I'ma recommend letting your voice crack once in a while. It's been known to happen when Mr. Aguilar is heavily inebriated, and considering his drinking disposition, that particular nuance will come up quite frequently. Gotcha, I'll give it another go. Hey pal, can you give me some fresh material to rehearse? You're all a bunch of psychos. Mother ducking heartless psychos. Emiliano sobs and howls himself raw, retching as the surgeon hacking his cerebellum induces full body spasms. The other Emiliano merely clears his throat before howling much the same.
Bate, vamo. Chi maleto
How about
va.
that? Bit better? Considerably. I'll notify the post-op clinicians to implant a few more speech impediment-inducing memorisms and apply brain damage relative to Mr. Aguilar's alcoholism. That should iron out the last neurophysical kinks. The other Emiliano gives a thumbs up, leaning back to enjoy his lobotomy, while with the lackadaisical indulgence of an expert barber's scalp massage. Melusine turns to face the glass, her wide smile put painfully taut. She looks at you with tears and mascara streaking down her face. The grin seems to be causing more pain than either patient's cerebral surgery. Was there anything else you needed to see, Mr. Burgard?
Notice Amini.
No, thank you, dear. That'd be all. Just wanted a new hire to get a better idea of the daily grind. Oh, but do let me know if we need to make adjustments to the mediatic nutrition, will you? I'll be on standby. With a curt nod, the receptionist turns her back. You hear a click, then a dial tone. The phone ceaseless screaming abruptly cuts off. Across the glass, Emiliano thrashes with all his might. Sound of his screaming muted once again.
Gawona Kimo.
So, what do you think? We don't have any of this. What's going on? Mr. Burger flinches as he let out an angry scream. But he's doesn't seem startled, let alone afraid. You mostly get the impression he's baffled by the sheer stupidity of your question. Good night, Carolina. Good night. Sleep well. He repeats it slowly as though making sure he's heard it correctly. What we're doing? What we always do here at Smyrna Caucus. We're replacing problem members of society with custom-trained, lab-raised actors that will live more efficient lives in our target space. It's our company's foolproof, flawless, and highly exclusive human resource solution. And what's more, we've performed today's processes all according to your specifications. Your specifications? You had nothing to do with this. I'm perturbed by your protests. Burgard motions the silhouetted surgeons, currently picking at both Emiliano's wet and naked craniums. First, as standard procedure, we have our doppelgangers undergo extensive surgery. This ensures their size and appearance matches their targets. However, we also perform highly precise neural excisions and hormonal dosing sessions to ensure both replacement and replacee have identical synaptic pathways. That means they'll share the same tastes, reflexes, and handicaps wherever applicable. Furthermore, as per your suggestions, I've encouraged our surgeons to physically excise all sections of the brain unrelated to workplace performance. I'm not entirely sure if that's how so-called firewalls are supposed to work for computers, but either way, our doppelganger should only know obedience, and thus never disobey. After completing his bleak announcement of a showman's tone, the giant points to the device on his desk. Its myriad cables running along the floor and worm their way through slits in the two-way glass, connecting to the flashing television screens hanging above the patient's face. Next, we bombard our subjects with doctored historical information and falsified childhood memory footage to revive their lived experience. This will erase problematic attitudes and induce more desirable proclivities. As you can tell, the process is rather unpleasant for the original Aguilar, who is experiencing the unraveling of his own identity in real time. But remember, his suffering is inconsequential, next to the heightened performance of his superior colleague. Besides, if done right, neither Emiliano will ever remember this. With an emphatic flourish, Obio tweaks another one of his machine's many knobs. The television screen flickers, replacing its gruesome slideshow of warfare footage with pictures of a pastoral farm. The louder Emiliano squirms, then screeches. Finally, the tweed behemoth nods to Melusine, whose eyes glance between both her patients, taking notes whenever one of them imitates the other. The two are becoming increasingly impossible to tell apart. Last but not least, Miss Saint sends, arguably as the most important task of all, quality assurance. You see, our procedure is human, not mechanical. Instinct trumps algorithms when it comes to understanding people. Thus, it's imperative for staffers with an eye for social cues to study the effects of non-sedated lobotomies, particularly during back and forth exchanges between target and replacement. This allows us to adjust mediatic nutrition quickly, and to identify overlooked flaws in body language, voice modulation, or personality. All this ensures our doppelgangers perform their jobs correctly.
Notice Amini.
And what's more, I followed your suggestions regarding precautionary measures and asked Melusine to be extra thorough today to ensure that not a single shred of non-Smirnokhop approved thought lingers in the doppelganger's brain. He will be the perfect product. Not to mention a good test run for the security upgrades we've developed through Radium Inc.'s partnership. Again, he wasn't lying. You may not have pulled the trigger, but you did help him load the gun. As you reel from the weight of revelation, Obiya holds up 3 fingers. One by one, he curls them down.
Kudo Mijaji.
Physical rewiring, psychological reconditioning, social reintegration. These are the pillars which Smirnokhop's substitution services are built. This is how we guarantee that tens of thousands of doppelgangers currently deployed to the public perform exactly as they must. It is how our company has controlled the course of human civilization for years upon years, steering it in whatever direction our executives deem right. It's how the right people have shown up at the right time and the right places. How wrong items or ideas have never appeared at inopportune occasions. And it is how you will help us do our job, regardless of which department you're ultimately assigned to.
Gawona Kimo.
So, any further questions about your job's responsibilities? I actually want to know why. Like, because they say they're controlling the course of history, right? So they're like a vampire company that's been like they're like the shadow government that's been around. And I just want to know why. Because it's not always been all good. Mr. Bergen's expression darkens with disappointment. It appears your lack of imagination offends the man. His ensuing condensation is so extreme it prickles your skin with goose flesh and raises your blood pressure to all new heights.
Kimao Hone.
Why do you think we do this, What other reason is there to do anything other than achieving control or acquiring capital? It's the only reason you agreed to this interview, isn't it? Frankly, our motives are just that simple, friend. The only difference is that Smirnokhop seeks to control the tides of civilization itself, not to wait about the paddling pools these civilizations built for themselves. Tweed Behemoth spreads his arms, taking up a dramatic stance. His muscular limbs cast a vast, all-consuming shadow, much like the one his company must cast over the world.
Notice Amini.
Societies, you see, are merely a set of rules meant to control such populaces, enforced by means of moral code and legislative threats. Histories are not but narratives parading as objective facts. Controlling the future by redefining the past. Economies are broad equations engineered to establish hierarchies and restrict freedom indirectly. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo. Our missive is to alter the evolution of all these entities everywhere in the world for the betterment of our species. This can mean overturning governments with silent revolutions, establishing or destroying businesses to reroute the flow of wealth, even altering history in ways that forces us to reinterpret the present.
Notice Amini.
All the world's a stage. Men and women are merely players. But Smirnokhov is the playwright, casting every actor's role. Today, your role has been decided to, and if you care to keep a roof over your head, you should refrain from delivering a disappointing performance. The giant's index finger prods your chest as he speaks. Each tap is like a bullet, thudding against a Kevlar vest. Across the mirror, Emiliano screams as though he felt those gunshots too. His cry is an ode to the dark future which awaits you. A future of perpetual, inescapable servitude. Sounds like a job. If we refuse, do we just die? Then, do we just... it's coming to the end, so I'm gonna... Let's see what happens if we refuse. Despite the quiver in your voice, your moral core remains unwavering in the face of such adversity. But the giant would-be manager answers that display of courage with a sniffled
Hone
sticker.
Kaye.
Oh, I'm afraid you're well past the point of refusing everything. After all, we've already signed our first contract and we use something much more permanent than paper or ink. He is a demon! The pale man's eyes drift towards your hand, the one he shook that you thought was bleeding. Looking into your palm, you realize the hunch was fully justified because something did pierce it. There's a lump beneath the skin, a most subtle rectangular protrusion you haven't noticed until now. Probably because it wasn't flashing, let alone making such an obnoxious sound. It's a bomb! This, my friend, is what we refer to as a non-disclosure microchip, a brand new addition to our confidentiality policy, specially designed by our future partners at Radium Inc. It serves as an ID to access all our office, but also as an employee loyalty failsafe. Should you ever emit brain activity associated with treason, unauthorized diversion of confidential data, or such nasty business, the chip will emit a warning signal. Should the warning go unheeded, a lethal dose of boridinin 210 will be discharged. An untraceable radiotoxic isotope capable of inducing total organ shutdown. If it's in the chip, it's already shutting down my organs. You can't contain it and then inject it safely. In other words, lest you care to experience a particularly messy demise, I suggest you remain on your best behavior until you die of natural causes. Oh no! We got a microchip under the skin. Can we cut it out? The microchip starts beeping faster till it matches the demented tempo of your beating heart. No telling which of the two is about to explode first. The signal is interrupted by Mr. Burgard tisking as he checks his belt-sized watch. Dear me, it seems I have lost track of time. Other employments beckon. I'm afraid our meeting is at end. You best return home and get plenty of rest. You need it for onboarding. Please don't consider self-ending as a solution to premature terminate your employment. I'm well aware of your unfortunate mental health diagnosis. Oh, clinical depression. But I'd be ever so unhappy if such a predictable scenario come to pass. Especially since we'd just be wasting time replacing you with a doppelganger or otherwise. I recommend you try enjoying this if you can. Your moral crisis and panic attack should be like water running off the proverbial duck's back. As Obia chuckles and elevator door screeches open behind you, the open shaft greets you like the gaping maw of a deep-sea fish. You glance between the open door and your manager, wondering if you're really safe to leave. But by the time the behemoth gives you a cheeky wink, you're already making a run for it. Fingers mash every single button of the keypad's confusing display, hoping some combination of keys will get you as far as possible. Eventually the griddle gate slams shut. Your floor lurches upwards. And Mr. Burgard waves goodbye, speaking the most chilling words you've heard all day. See you tomorrow. Your microchip alarm slows to a crawl, as all your hopes and dreams die a slow whimpering death. This is why we don't get jobs. This is why VTubers don't get jobs. Congratulations, you're hired. Yeah, we don't get jobs because of stuff like this. Stuff like this happens to VTubers all the time. I think I'm gonna end it here because my throat really hurts. I don't know. We'll play more of this. We might. It's interesting. Definitely interesting. But it is a lot of reading, and my voice was kind of hurt. So any notes? We don't have any notes. I feel like we've only just gotten into the game itself. Yeah, I wish. It seems like there's a lot to the game, right? It seems like there's a lot to the game, and we've only just sort of gotten into it. Like I feel like we haven't really gotten to the bulk of everything just yet. Let me exit the game. But it's a definitely interesting game, and if you are interested in experiencing the game yourself, hang on. Let me move something forward. Please find it on Steam right now. Please find it on Steam, and hang on. Let me copy the little Linktree code that they have, cause I wanna give that to you. it was thank you for the pat meteorite. I don't know if you guys were listening the whole way. It was a lot of reading. I didn't expect so much reading. To be fair, I didn't really look too deeply into the game because I like going into games blind with all of you guys. I like experiencing things from scratch with all you guys. So I really didn't expect that there was so much. Thank you for the pepper meteorite. It was a bit like an audiobook today. Uh, the link is in the YouTube description, but I'll paste it on I will paste it on Twitch as well. Oops, you're gonna hear me twice. So as mentioned, I did get a free key for this, and I'm really grateful to the publishers behind Inhuman Resources. It seems really interesting. It's definitely for people who like I think choose your own adventure book sort of things. And they say there's over 100 different endings, so it'll be fun to come and see it. But find out more about Inhuman Resources from the link here. And go get it. It's out on Steam right now. Go and get Inhuman Resources. It's definitely interesting. I don't know if I'll play it again on stream, just because it is a lot of reading. I feel like it's a game you can concentrate on your own. But yes, if you like any of what is today, go get it. You won't have Tene narrating every scene. You can narrate it in your own voice, which should be fun. But yeah, my throat hurts. My throat really does hurt. I need to go and rest. Nobody I'm following is on right now. But I'm gonna try and raid someone anyway. Let's see, who should we raid? Someone's doing co-working and yapping. Someone's playing Papers, Please, which is a really good game and slightly less reading. The hag maxing. I have to, cause I'm a hag as well, right? I have to raid people who are also hags. I saw hag maxing in the deck. Okay. Yeah. Let's raid them. They seem fun. Thank you for spending time with Tene. Thank you for getting to this really long stream with me. My voice hurts. But I'm glad you all stuck with me throughout this whole stream. A lot of reading. We'll be back with plushie making, and I will ask you guys some suggestions for D&D later on in my Discord, because there's a bunch of D&D stuff happening tomorrow that I always like getting your insight on. Thank you for the stream. Please, I don't have a raid message. Just go in there and say hello. I never have raid messages. I'm sorry. Let's stick around at least for a minute with them before you dip. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone.